Y'all, it is getting down to the nitty gritty, and some big decisions got to be made before somebody falls to the wayside. And there was some definitely big decisions made in this episode. And the cliffhanger, y'all, I cannot wait until episode 5 because I feel like that's when this show is really going to get on the road because Julie is not playing around. She ain't. She ain't. Welcome, y'all, to the DeAndre Way. I am your host, DeAndre, of course, and we are going over the Trust episode for today. If you haven't checked out the first 3 episodes, check them out. And if you want to become a member, go ahead and join today. It's only $5 a month, nothing to help support the page and get some exclusive content. You get a bunch of bang for your buck, and it's gonna be popping. It's popping and cracking over there because we got some good things coming this week, y'all. Some very good things behind the scenes, excuse me, with people from the traders. And soon we'll get some more people from the trust. But time, just be patient with that. We working on it. But yes, this is episode 4 recap. We got some new episodes popping off very soon. Come out tomorrow, I believe. And we'll see. We'll see what's going on because it's getting close to the finale, y'all. It's getting close. But yes, we will continue where we left off in episode 3, beginning episode 4, where we have 2 people in the vault, which is Jake and Bryce, trying to figure out what they gonna do. Are they gonna take the 10 grand and split somebody off, or are they gonna help get these $2,000 from everybody not voting and split everybody off? We'll see. I will take the money, but that's just me. But yeah, they're left with a predicament. And at this point, Jake doesn't know Bryce is the millionaire yet, so he doesn't have the information that we're privy to. But they make a decision and they rejoin the group eventually. Then they go talk to the group and they bring everybody in together. And everyone's convinced that Jake is the one that made the sole decision because he is the leader of the group and Bryce is going to follow him like Tails and Sonic. Jake soon brings up that a beautiful angel was sent home last night due to someone voting her out, and he is speaking about Simone. And he's pouring one out for her, basically saying, "Look, we can't have this happen again, y'all. We all want to make this money. This is one show where we can all win. Let's do this. Let's make history. Come on, y'all with me, right?" He's out there giving the halftime speech. Like, y'all, we messed up in the first half of the game, but it's time to get the second half on the road. We don't want to end up like the Dallas Cowboys playing the Packers this past weekend. We don't want to end up like the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We want to end up like the Chiefs. We want to end up like the Lions. We want to end up, we didn't get the bye, but hey, we can still win the game. So come on, y'all. We working. So Jake is definitely trying to get his Ray Lewis speech on right now, essentially. With but this Tolu is soon upset that Jake mentioned Simone going home. She gets tight about that. I feel like a broken record at this point, y'all. Again, getting mad over what? Him mentioning she going home? She didn't even vote for her, so why are you mad? I don't get it. Everyone tentatively wants the money all to go into the trust. So it seems like everyone wants to keep doing this teamwork thing and definitely is trying to be on board with trying to share the money. So I mean, I don't blame them at this point. You're with these people, you see these people, they got good souls and spirit, and maybe we can all share the money and keep going from there. But if not, then somebody else has another idea on their minds. But as far as I'm concerned, seeing this meeting, everyone seems to be good. Jay says she likes sitting in her room and just embroidering, um, and definitely I'm skipping, sorry. So they tell the group when they get back to the group, I'm getting ahead of myself. They get back to the group and they're telling the groups that, look, we had option 1 to take the money, or we had option 2. We each don't vote, or we get $2,000 for everybody who doesn't vote. And they said they chose decision number 2. And Yeah, that's basically what happened there. They explain the reasoning why, and everyone's like, all right, we see what time it is. And yeah, totally got upset, and everyone wants the money to go into the trust. And then we get to Jay, said she's like sitting in her room just embroidering. She has her own thing she's doing to get through this game. It's a lot. She doesn't want to be surrounded by people all the time. She doesn't want to be, mingling 24/7. It can be a lot, and people need their space. I get it. It's her way to decompress. I think everyone has to have their own form of that. Don't see an issue with that. Um, Tolu and Winnie are having doubts about Julie still and her relationship with Jake, because if she's with Jake and it comes to a decision that somebody has to be voted out, she's not going to pick him, or she's not going to pick them to save over him, and they can be targets. So they're trying to cover their bases at all angles right now. They're trying to cover the fronts, the sides, the backs, the rears. They're the airplane flying in the middle of the formation, and one plane is getting out of place. They're trying to figure out how they can get it back on track, but it might be too late. Jake and Brian soon have a moment. They're working out, getting the guns built up together. Bryce soon they focus a lot on Jake working out. They liking all these workout shots. I noticed this man's built like a dang Ford 150. Uh, Bryce wants to get it off his chest that he's the millionaire. He's like, I can't take it anymore. I need to get this thing out. It's hurting my heart and my soul to hide from these people that I got all this money. I gotta tell the people I'm rich, y'all. Please. Just understand that I'm rich and let it be okay. Look. I don't think there's two things. This isn't a show where like the traders where everyone pretty much already has money, you know. Not all these people have that's been on TV before and have won shows and are doing their thing and whatnot. But even people on the traders need the money too. But it's not like, I mean, this money is a lot of money for to change some people's lives, and it won't change his life at all. I'm not saying I'm not saying he should quit, but I'll put perfect example. I was thinking about this earlier. There was a guy on Squid Game who was already rich and had money. And I asked him, he was in the podcast. I asked him, if you already had money, why'd you come on the show? He's like, I just wanted the experience. And everyone could possibly look at that. Well, dang, like, what if you would have won? I mean, you would have took money away from people who needed it. And he's like, no, I wouldn't have, because I would have shared all the money. We were like, huh? He's like, yeah, I don't need the money, and I would have shared it with every single person. Wow. I don't think Bryce is sharing this money, y'all. And also, this person would have shared the money. It was $4.56 million sharing that. He would be sharing roughly a quarter of $1 million, depending on how much money they get added to with pot. But Bryce wouldn't, I can't see him sharing this money. He could, but this is a fraction of what you already possess. I don't know your net worth per se. Maybe you've just made $1 million, but you don't have that currently in the bank. But maybe he would have said, look, y'all, if you guys keep me around, I'm the millionaire. I'm sharing the money. I just want the experience. And if I can get the experience and I somehow win, I don't need the money, so I'm just gonna share it. If he would say this, then everyone would be like, cool, you can stay. We'll never vote you out. You can have your experience. That's that's more than what anybody could ask for, and he should be happy. But he doesn't say that. And therefore, him not saying that or thinking that or putting that even into the air, it makes me think that he would just win this money and just go do what he want to do. And I'll buy you guys brunch and dinner and whatnot, but I ain't gonna pay your bills and nothing. I ain't gonna help you out. Mm, mm, mm. But yes, he wants to get it off his chest, and it is hurting him a lot to have to keep hiding this. And depending how the day goes, he will tell people he was a millionaire or not. So he's kind of just seeing the mood of things and seeing, the temperature. If everything's being cooked right today, I'll spill the beans. If, something goes up in flames, I'll just save it for another day and continue to beat myself up over this thing. Jay is soon upset that Jake and Julie are flirting heavily and hardcore. I don't see why she's upset about this. I mean, it's two adults just flirting. I don't see an issue with them flirting per se because somebody has to on the show. I mean, you're on an island, so I don't know. She's hating a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. Jay is going in on Jake and said he should thank them for saving him. She should thank the girls for saving him and whatnot, or essentially thank Jay. Well, Jake can't thank anyone for saving him because he doesn't know he needed to be saved. He doesn't know. He didn't know essentially that he was a target. You can't thank somebody for saving you if you never knew that you were in massive danger. And he doesn't know who voted for who, according to you. According to Jay, Jake does not know who voted for who because Jay, I assume, doesn't know that Julie told Jake that she voted for Simone. And Jay didn't tell anyone who she voted for. So who should he be thanking? I was just confused on that part. But we move, and soon it's time for the ceremony and the voting ceremony. And so everyone gets there, honky dory. We just had this big talk earlier. We are all talking about, we're not going to vote anyone out. They made the decision, number two, if nobody votes, we each get $2,000 added to the pot. And we'll all be hunky dory and good to go. And so we get there, everyone's talking, and everyone agrees, okay, we ain't gonna vote. It's a daytime trust ceremony, so this is a little different. It's not nighttime. A different mood settings, a little less dramatic. So I don't want to say the daytime is spoiling what the outcome is going to be, but it kind of is because it's like if it's daytime, it makes it look like okay, everything's going to be fine. Like I've never seen really an elimination ceremony during the daytime on any show. Survivor, Big Brother's inside, so you don't know if it's nighttime, but it's usually at nighttime. The challenge, nothing. I've never seen that. Um, and yes, so everyone does their votes. We don't get to see what anyone does, but we find out that the trust did not get broken this time. So everybody didn't vote and they all got the $2,000 added to the bank, which is a total of $1,800. Excuse me, $18,000. Everyone's happy. Everyone's on the same page. We're like, we finally did it. We're all good to go. We are making this thing happen. We are shaking and baking and quaking all the way to the grocery store aisle and get some Quaker oats, and we jumping up out of here. That was a horrible reference, but you get my point. Yes, and so everyone's happy. Popping champagne bottles, we get the toast, and the host says, since you guys were able to do that and we are all still here, there's going to be a fancy dinner tonight, and it will be extravagant. Everyone is happy, kicking their feet up. People are high fiving, hugs, cries, the whole nine. And this is the first moment where we see the complete unity of the group. And maybe we can do this. That wasn't too hard. Just saying no, we're not going to vote, and we can all make it happen. And we gain some extra money. It's a win-win situation. But soon, Bryce says he's been dancing around his accomplishments to make other people feel comfortable. So he's like, I'm this accomplished real estate person. I made all this money. I have this status. And it's not fair that I have to hide all these things for these people to feel comfortable when it's not, when it's just me being me. It's just you being you, huh? Mm. You know, that sounds kind of like Jules hiding the fact that he was a cop, but it's in a different format per se. Jules didn't hide the fact he was a cop because he didn't want people to know his accomplishments and whatnot. He didn't want people to know that he was serving serving the people as a cop. You know, it was because he knew that similar to Bryce. He was going to be judged being a cop just as Bryce would be judged being a millionaire. But it didn't seem to bother him that he was hiding this at all. I don't think he would have caved and told people he was a cop. And it's just, I don't understand. You're going against your win condition, wanting to say people that you're, tell people that you're a millionaire. It just doesn't make sense. Look, like I said, I'm not a millionaire. I can't, it's hard for me to put myself in his shoes, but it's just not adding up to me about why he feels like he has to get this thing off his chest. There's plenty other things you can talk about, but why does your money seem and your these accomplishments seem to define you as a person? Aren't you good enough without all those things carrying your weight? You have to be able to carry your own self without having something else carry you. Or what is there really to carry? You know? These are material things. These are worldly things that you're using to help define you and your essentially character and your being in itself. So you wanting to say these things so bad is just me questioning like what's really going on? If you didn't have the money, do you think you'd be lesser of yourself? Do you think you'd be a lesser person? I don't know. It's a question to be asked because why would you be clamoring so hard about saying that you're a millionaire to these people when that is going to go against everything that would help you win the money just to say it? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yes, he's debating with himself, is it the right decision? And soon Brooke comes out and tells them that they each need to pick one person to sit next to at the dinner. So everyone starts picking people. So Jay gets picked first, and she feels the most connected to her roommate Lindsay. So she picks Lindsay. So Jay and Lindsay are together. Lindsay is worried how that will be perceived because Jay was, had stuck her neck out a little bit at the last couple ceremonies, speaking her mind a little bit much, and people see her with Jay, they're gonna think they might think the same thing. And Lindsay's trying to lay low and chill, be low key, and not do none of that. So she's a little weary, but hey, she plays it cool. She gets up in there. Jake is next, and he picks Brian. No surprise there. Military buddies, best friends in the house. Very easy decision. But Jake doesn't pick Julie, which is kind of, she rubs her the wrong way a little bit. And definitely she feels some type of way. I don't blame Julie for feeling some type of way. I mean, look, she has her man there, and her man's. I don't know if they're official or anything at this point. We don't even see them kiss up to this point, but I'm sure we don't get to see a lot of things. Eh, maybe he's doing that to maybe brush people off their scent to make it seem like they're not as close as they are. So there's no perceived showmance and alliance going on there. Maybe that's the case. And Julie, the thing is like when Julie talks, is I don't take anything she says too serious because she seems like one of those girls who's like joking a lot. Like she says things with a smile on her face a lot. And just the way she says it isn't to be taken 100% at face value. It's kind of like, ha, 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 like he, ha, ha. So I'm seeing that through the screen, and hopefully these other people are seeing that where she's a joking girl. That's just how she is, and you can't take everything she says so serious. I didn't take it that much when I didn't think she was that upset about it. But yes, Bryce is next, and he picks Julie to go with him. And Julie says, "I'd rather go with him anyways. You were my first pick," which you capping on that. You would have picked Jake. Julie says Jake doesn't want to admit to the whole house how much he likes her. It's getting a little, smells a little Love Islandish in here. Smells like something. Smells like love. Uh-oh. Mm-mm. Jake, what's up? What's up? You like Julie like that? Come on, you can tell it to the people now. Just, it's okay. But next is Winnie. Winnie's next, and of course she picks Tolu. No surprise there whatsoever. And that leaves Gasper to be the last person that's not with anyone. And Gasper ends up with Brooke, the host. So he gets, he gets the last laugh maybe. But it's a small group, but everyone seems to be fine with whatever. Gasper takes it fine. Like I said, Gasper doesn't take this like maybe someone else would take it as being offended. If I feel like if somebody else was left last, they would have took it like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe nobody picked me. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that." When it's not that deep. We're just picking people to sit next to for dinner. It's not like we picking people to save and not be eliminated with. Yeah, how Gasper takes it is exactly cool and fine, and he brushes it off like it's no big deal because it is no big deal. There's zero stakes, as far as we know. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. Y'all read between the lines. The group is feeling real good at the dinner and says this feeling is the best feeling ever. Everyone's feeling comfortable, everyone's happy, and they're having a little kumbaya moment because we're all still here after another day. This is the first time this happened. We actually to learn more about each other, about what everyone's doing in life and what the money would mean to all of them. Definitely, I think 25, 30 grand at this point for each person would help a lot. Well, soon, after everyone's, chowing down on the food, his dinner looks real nice. You got the champagne and whatnot. Everyone's telling good stories and chowing down. Well, then it is time for Bryce. He wants to stand up and give a little speech and get something off his chest. And he decides to finally say that he wants to admit his secret. So, y'all, look, look. I get it. Sometimes we just have these. I don't look. You just got to get things out sometimes. You got to get things out. The heart can't hold everything inside all the time. You got to let it out. More like, you got to use the bathroom real bad. You got to let it out, even if you ain't in the toilet. Like another bad analogy. Look, I don't get it. I don't get it. I ain't going to act like I get it because I don't. He stands up and admits to everyone that he's a millionaire. And everyone looks at him real like pause and then they're like, "Oh, we already knew. We already knew." I mean, they probably did know, but they needed to like hear it come from the horse's mouth to really kind of settle in. And he says he's an open and honest person and he feels good about it. And he's talking about like, "Oh, yes, like I'm finally don't have to hide anymore. Like I have this, I have that." And when he's talking this whole time, Julie's looking at him like, "You said what? You said who? Oh, how you playing?" And Jake sees this, and you can see the anger inside Julie coming on and the disgust coming on. And Julie's getting pissed at Bryce and can't believe that everybody else is so hunky dory, good luck Charlie attitude towards this man after telling them that he's a millionaire and he's on this show to win $250,000. And she's like, "I don't get it. Every time is always somebody coming up in here raining on my parade, especially the people who don't need it. This is outside. This is insane, coach. We need to call a timeout real quick and everybody get in the group except Bryce and let's discuss what's really going on. Because it seems like a lot of y'all are just fake smiling and laughing in front of this dude's face when we really need to be having a real and open conversation about what really just happened. What just happened? It's like an atomic bomb went off and y'all acting like we still have a house to go home to. Y'all acting like the Titanic ain't sinking right now. What is happening? Y'all acting like Tarzan's jungle ain't getting taken over by the colonizers. What's happening, y'all? So she is getting very annoyed with him. Bryce shows off his Armani shoes, says he can finally show off his stuff. He's bragging like, "Oh my gosh, you guys don't understand. I just like, I can finally be myself, my fabulous rich self in front of you guys, and I can show you off my $100,000 watch, and I can show you my $10,000 bag, and I can pull out my Louis Vuitton glasses and my Ray-Bans, and I'm gonna be out in the sun, y'all. I'm gonna be lit right now. He feeling himself, y'all. He's definitely feeling himself, and I self awareness is at a low right now. It's at an all time low, and I'm just like, what is going on, Coach? What? I don't know. I don't know, but yes, this was a very kind of awkward scene to be watching, I will say. But soon, yes, Brooke comes out, or not a Brooke, Gat. Where am I at? Bryce just told everything, and soon Brooke comes back. Yes, so Brooke comes back and tells Gasper that since he didn't get picked, he gets to decide who gets to go on an excursion because he wasn't picked. So now Gasper has all this power. And before this, Gasper was chilling. I mean, he had to go in the vault once, but he was playing a cool, low key game, and now he has to be put on the spot to, like, make decisions like this again. And it's tough because, if certain people don't get picked, they might feel some type of way for whatever reason. When it's honestly, this is just another, these little things that they're throwing them are just tests to test to see how people will react to them not getting something. And that when you don't get something, that's when your true kind of colors show up. And that's when the enviousness, the ego-ness comes out to haunt everyone and eventually vote somebody out or find someone a reason to be mad at somebody. But yes, it is Gasper's turn to just make this decision, and he decides to pick Brian because he's the most honest person there, and he deserves to do this because he lives on a ranch. He might never get to have this experience again. He might never get to be able to be on an island again. So he wants to give that to him, which is very honorable and noble of him. And then he picks Julie as well because, Julie has gone through a lot, and she just, this would really be good for her, raise her spirits, because she hasn't really had the best game so far, per se, with everything going on. And she feels shocked by this. I mean, I was shocked. I didn't expect him to pick Julie, but this was a very nice move by Gasper. He's definitely showing that he's a man of the people, a good dude, and definitely someone with some morals and integrity, and definitely not someone who's willing to, someone who has high character. He's very, very good at acting. He's just showing that he just keeps showing up to the table and keeps showing that he's that dude, man. I'm not gonna get mad if y'all don't pick me. I'm gonna give other people, not even myself, a chance to go on an excursion. Like, this dude is a real one. He's a real one. And soon, Bryce brings Tolu after everyone leaves and dinner's over. Bryce brings Tolu back to talk to her, and he tells Tolu that he comes from wealth and money, but he's here for the team. But there's an issue. So when he's talking to Tolu, she's just like listening. She's like, because he talks to her first because he's like, look, out of anybody get mad at me for saying this, it might be you because, you get mad at other people for these other things. Let me just clear things up with you. So it was smart for him to go to her first. But he should have looked at everyone's faces, and maybe Tolu's face was giving him some vibes, but definitely Julie's face is giving him some vibes too. But he goes to Tolu first, and he initially tells her that he made all his money from commissions. It's all him. Because Tolu asks, well, does your family come from money, or did you make this money? He's like, oh, it's all me, baby. I made everything. I made everything. How you gonna make everything if you a third generation real estate agent, coach? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. We already know this as a crowd. But you lying to this girl face. It's gonna come out one way or another because you already admitted it. You can't even follow your own story correct, coach. But he tells her this, and then Tolu says, look, playa, Don't try and victimize your privilege. Don't make it seem like woe is me because I'm going to be judged by having all this money and I just am so sad because I can't do this and that and it's not fair because my life is so great and I can't fly. My life is great because I'm going to get judged and it just makes me feel horrible. Nah, we ain't playing that game, coach. You don't deserve to be upset because you come from this money. And it's just not clicking with that. So she checks him here, and I like that. She, claps and Tolu. She getting her game face on. She checks him because she's right. You're not gonna play victim after you're telling this secret of yours. That's not even something that you should be feeling victimized from. That's like the Queen of England going to everyone, "Oh my gosh, I have all this power and responsibility, and I just don't know what to do with myself. It's just too much. You guys don't understand how hard this is," and trying to make everyone feel bad for her because she has to rule the country. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. This dude needs to go home after this little Shakespearean act. A mess. But then soon Bryce talks to Julie because he sees Julie's face as well, probably, and she was like not cool with that. And she tells him, "Look, this is my initial thoughts that rich people is that they're basically spoiled." And before I get to Julie's conversation, after he tells Tolu that, "Oh, it's all me, baby," he tells her after that, "Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, my parents did help me a little bit." So he lied quickly right there and had to retract his statement. Just a little note. But yeah, soon he goes and talks to Julie, and she tells him that her initial thoughts about rich people that they're basically spoiled. And then Bryce tells Julie that he had a very privileged life. And it's nice to say that. And it's nice that he doesn't have to steal from people and he doesn't have to go through the struggle, essentially. It's nice. I have a great life. I don't have to steal. I don't have to rob. I don't have to beg people for anything. I just can kick my feet up and do whatever I want. I mean, you would think this is in a movie script, y'all. I wish this was scripted. I wish it was scripted at this point because this is just comical at this point. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I had to rewatch this a couple times because I just didn't. I had to check myself. I had to get some Q-tips and clean my ears out just to make sure I was hearing things correctly. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? This makes look. He might have been trying to do that to make it seem like he's owning it because he just talked to Tolu and she's like, "Don't victimize yourself. Own what you're doing and just be fine with it." So he's like, "Okay, I will own it." And so when we went to talk to Julie, he's like, "I'm owning it. I'm rich and I'm glad I didn't have to do this." Bruh, not like that. Don't own it to the fact to make people feel like a piece of shit. You gotta own it in the fact, like, yes, I acknowledge that I'm rich. I don't think that I'm better than anyone else. And I feel for the people who had to go through that. And I'm truly feel for you, Julie, in this moment, and I'm so sorry. And that's it. Like that's it. Like just leave it at that. You don't need to go into how you feel. Like, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't have to do that." No, especially to the girl who had to go through that. What are you thinking? I don't get it. I don't get it. But yes, he says he had parents who loved him, and she thinks that she can't see his privilege. She thinks that he can't see his privilege in having parents who loved him and that he was held as a child. And Bryce can't recognize that he doesn't deserve to be there. I mean, dang, he basically told Julie, like, "Look, I had parents who loved me, you didn't. And I had all these things, you didn't. I'm owning it, and I'm happy because of it." It's all about the delivery, folks. It's all about the delivery, and this dude's delivery, damn. It's as bad as Dak Prescott was playing the other day, you know. It's as bad as the Eagles tackling was doing. I mean, you definitely look like a rookie in this game, and it's showing and glaring, and the big lights come on, and it ain't even the final episode, yo. This dude is flaming out quickly, and somebody needs to get the fire extinguisher because This flame is getting a little too blazing hot because Julie's about to smack him upside the head with a fire extinguisher if he don't shut up. He tells Julie that she is more deserving of the money than he is. And she says if he's there for the relationships, then just be here for the relationships. Why are you here for the money? You've had your relationships. He says he has his own personal struggles, and people might say he's not deserving of the money, but he is deserving of the experience. We spoke about this already, y'all. That doesn't make any sense, coach. That doesn't make any sense. You want the experience, but you don't want the money, and you think others are more deserving. You're literally contradicting yourself, and you're just talking in circles at this point. No point is being made. Literally 0 point is being made. I don't understand. You're telling her basically you deserve to win more than me. Okay, that's saying vote me out essentially. But you're also saying I deserve to be here and I deserve to have the experience. But I don't need the money. Make it make sense. It literally doesn't make sense at all. I can't. I can't. We've seen Brian and Julie go, they're going into their little trip and their soiree. They get picked up the next day and they're out of there. Julie's like, look, I can't deal with this. I need to get out of here. It's too much dealing with this child right now because he's about to make me lose it. Lose it, make you lose control. Music, make you lose control. Let's go. She's about to lose it. Well, they get on their trip and they get to this swamp-looking thing, this swamp-looking place, and there's a zip line to go into the pond. There's a pond. It looks dope. We see a lighter side of Julie here. She's having more fun. She's free, releasing, opening up in a more fun way so far, just because she's been dealing with a lot so far. And they get to go swimming, zip line. They get to go check out a cave, do some other things probably we didn't get to see on camera, get some good food, yada yada yada. Looks like a definitely good, dope trip, and I'm jealous too. We still seen Mama J, and she's weary of people and sus of people because she's just not. Something's talking to her in the back of her shoulder, like, look, just don't be so easy. Yeah, we might have made it through that boat, but this next one, look, you taught some tensions, and she knows this, so she's not getting too relaxed. Tolu is soon telling Lindsay about Bryce and how he was pitifying his privilege. That's facts. He was a pitifying his privilege. I ain't never heard nobody pitify privilege. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so rich. It's so, woe is me. Oh, let me cry in my millions of dollars. That's the only kind of stuff I see, like, on scripted television. Literally. I mean, I covered some shows where people crying in their wealth and don't know what to do with all their money. I don't get it. Bryce um, says, if you say you are successful, people will make their own story about you. No, they won't. No, they won't. I know plenty of successful people, but they're humble people and they give back and they aren't really selfish. I had a friend who in college, he knew he had money. He told me in the car, like, yeah, I'm pretty well off, but if you ever need anything, let me know and I got you. He would buy me food. He would help me out with gas sometimes. Anytime I needed anything, he's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Because I know I have it like this and you don't, but I don't want that. I know that I have an unfair advantage in life in general because of my upbringing. And I recognize you don't, so I want to do something about that. Does Bryce offer to do anything for anyone except buy them brunches on me when we all meet up, guys? No. Like, he's too young to understand. He's just too young to understand that. And he's probably in a bubble that he's never been around anyone, like I said before, outside of his archetype. So he literally doesn't understand. I can't put too much onus on him for not understanding because he just doesn't. Now, I do put onus on it because he needs to learn. But hopefully this experience has taught him, like, look, maybe I should go out and get a little bit more well-traveled and go to different areas and whatnot and not stay in my small millionaire bubble where I don't understand how people can't be rich. Maybe he should do that. Tolu and Winnie say that they will vote Bryce out and then Jake. So they're on the phone like, look, this dude got money. He can't stay here. He got to go because this is ridiculous at this point. So they seem to have a plan. They're gonna invite Bryce, then Jake, because they need more of this dough. Julie will have a more clear mind, and they say Julie will have a clear mind once Jake is gone. I don't know about that. She gonna be pissed if y'all vote her man's out. I mean, you really think she gonna be happy if y'all vote her boo out the game? Come on, y'all. I know y'all smarter than that. Don't be so naive. If you think she was gonna pick him over you, you think she gonna be happy y'all voted her man out the game? I don't. They think this game's a little too easy. They think it's too easy right now. Um, well, soon, Brooke pops up to Julie and Brian and says that, hope you guys had a good day. It's been fun, but it's time to get down to business and defeat the Huns. And Julie and Brian will go into the vault, and the others will have no idea about what they will be doing, and that it is a secret vault. And them two won't even know what each other's doing because they're going into the vault separately at a time. So this is where the game's getting interesting, coach. The choices are different. There is only one offer. There's not two. And the difference is if they open the offer, they have to take it. And if they don't, obviously they don't. So this is a big, big, big deal. Now, based on what has transpired so far, it seems like the offers are doubling each time. First time it was $2,000 you could get from an offer. The next time it was five. The next time it was 10. This is the fourth time. It's probably going to be 20 or 25. Are you taking $20,000 to $25,000 guaranteed at least when that's how much you're already splitting? I am. I don't know what the condition's going to be, but I feel like this offer you have to take. You need the money. But I get you still want it. Your guys are still close and whatnot, and everyone's still trying to work as a team to make sure everyone can make it through this because you guys have grown close. We don't see, like I said, we don't see so much that is shown that it's it's not given good. The edit isn't getting good context on how close people are actually getting. We just see kind of like bits and pieces here, but it seems like the whole cast is relatively close and general, and they care for each other. So I can see why they continue want to be working as a group. Because the viewer, it's like tempting to be like, oh, just take the money for yourself. It's a solo game. Kind of not. This is a different kind of game. But yes. And yes, and the other difference is, yeah, they don't have to share the offer to anyone else. So they can tell them that, well, we just went on a trip and that's it. We came back. Or they could share it if they want to. It's all up to them. And all Brooke knows about the offer is that it really benefits the Julie and Brian, and not the group. So either they could. My guess is they could either gonna get money and the group will lose a big amount of money. So say, oh, we'll give you $25,000, but the group loses a total of 50, or you get 20,000 and you got to vote two people out, something like that. And Brian is first, and he's looking at the offer, and she's telling him these things, and he's like, he's going through it. You got the angel on one ear and the devil on the other, and they're both barking back and forth and seeing what he should do. I think he should take this money. He needs this money, you know. He needs it. His one wife is taking care of his whole family back at home. One wife. His wife is taking care of his whole family back home. But he says, the temptation is really hard. And he said him and his family are trying to adopt an 8-month an 8-month boy, an 8-year-old boy. Look, an 8-month-old boy, and his family really needs the money. And he says, my integrity is not for sale, and he declines it and says he won't take the offer. And now it's Julie's turn. She says Julie the same thing, and Julie's thinking, and she's struggling with it. Like, the group has been so good to me, and we've gotten so close, and everything's gotten a lot better, and this would be a horrible time just to break it. But I need this money because I'm not trying to be even anywhere near the life that I was at before. Y'all don't understand the pain that I had to go through. We don't, Julie. We don't. And if anybody needs to take it, you do. And what does she do? Oh, she says, I'm taking that one, coach. No questions asked. And that's where the episode ends with Julie accepting this offer. Now, we don't know what the offer is. I told y'all what I think the offer is, but we'll see what it is. We'll see. I'm happy somebody took it. I'm happy somebody took it because these offers are made for the show to get taken, and I'm definitely excited to see what happens next. Now, the people who I think the next person getting voted out is either going to be Jay, obvious reasons, Tolu, because it seems like she's targeting people, and people might finally jump onto that fact where she's being this ringleader. Um, Jake is up, but I don't think he's getting voted out because there's people above him. Bryce, he's very probably, next one on the chopping block due to the money, sharing the fact that he had money, which was dumb again. And that's about it. Yeah, no, that's it. Those are the only people I can see voted off. Probably Jay, Tolu, or Bryce. Most likely Bryce. But yeah, that was episode 4, y'all. Definitely episode 5 will be spicy because somebody's going home. I don't know who's going home, but somebody definitely is going home because they said the offer wasn't benefiting the group. And the thing is, Brian's gonna know that she accepted it if whatever happens. But the thing is, he probably won't know till after the voting ceremony. Secret. She could just say, "I didn't accept anything." So I think that's what's gonna happen. But I don't know. But yeah, that's it for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this coverage of episode 4. We are moving and trucking along. Only 4 episodes left. We halfway through. I'm excited. To see how this unfolds, and then we get the finale a week from today. And yeah, then the trust is over. It seems like it just opens. But we out of here, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Peace and blessings. Make sure to sign up for the membership as well. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.